Hey guys, this is Sergeant Phoenix back in the action, and today we are finally doing another deck profile. I apologise for not doing a video for quite some time, around 2 months to be in fact, but under circumstances which we are all in, I've been quite busy of late and sorting some stuff out and was unable to make a video. And this deck's different. Before the household lockdown started, where we can't go to other people's houses and stuff, I spoke with one of my friends and we ended up hanging out for a bit, and she asked me, the next time you do a YouTube video on a deck profile, could you please do my deck as a profile? And she mentioned it's a dragon deck, and I helped to give her a few cards, so I already know the main monster she used, but I will explain what I think of the deck, because I've actually not seen it since she gave it me. I've not looked at the whole deck. So let's have a look. Okay. First we have 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, and they are from the Battle City pack where you get 3 decks, Kaiba, Yugi's and Joey's. I know because I bought two of them, and you know, one of my friends bought them and she paid me back. She paid me back for them, and I didn't. So, you know, we ended up getting one of these. I have the latest design as well because I've collected them all, the art styles, because I think it's just one hobby I like to do. Next we have the White Stone of Legends. This tuna monster has this effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, add 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand. This already tells me at some point this is going to be Blue Eyes, definitely going to be a Blue Eyes based deck. And she did say Blue Eyes is a favourite dragon. This is interesting. Infernal Dragon. I actually didn't expect this to be in this deck. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card attacked this turn, destroy this card, obviously. When this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you contribute 1 monster, special summon this card from your graveyard. Interesting. Like I said, I didn't expect that to be in this one. I expected more, but I can still have a look at this deck. Kidmordo Dragon. Now this card's effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 dragon-type monster from your hand. You cannot special summon monsters except dragon-type monsters, nor conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this effect. You can only use this effect of Kidmordo Dragon once per turn. Okay. Oh, we have Kaiser Glider. Now, I know she wanted this card because I had this card. And if memory serves, Kaiba used this card actually when he teamed up with Yugi against Darts. Now, this card's effect, if this card cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster that has the same attack. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target 1 monster on the field, return that target to the hand. It's an okay card, I'll say that. Now we have a tuna monster, Rider of the Storm Winds. And its effects, you can target 1 dragon-type normal monster you control. Equip this monster to your hand or field to that target. If a monster equipped with this card attacks a defensive position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. If a monster equipped with this card would be destroyed, destroy this card instead. Excuse me. Just getting a drink of water. Next we have a slightly damaged. This one's actually mine when I first ever started Yu-Gi-Oh! In high school, and that was years ago. And my sister thought it was a fun idea to grab some of my cards, and this was the result. I also had a Toon World card bent. Now, Darkstorm Dragons are Gemini, which means that when you first summon them out, they don't have their effects, they're just normal monsters. But if they're on the field on your next turn, you can normal summon them again, and then they'll be treated as effect monsters with a certain effect they have. I'll read to explain. This card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While this card is face up on the field, you can normal summon it to have it become an effect monster with this effect. Now its effect is, once per turn you can send one face up spell or trap card you control to the graveyard, destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. Which would mean if you had two, you'd also lose the other one. Now, and I do remember using Dark Storm Dragon. Dark Storm Dragon was one of the first cards I used when I first made my own personal deck, which was in high school. Next we have Dark Blaze Dragon. This card's effect, if this card is special summoned from the graveyard, its attack and defense become double its original attack and defense. If this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. So even if it does, so it's a good card, that. Which tells me this deck has also got special summoning like Monster Reborn or other cards for summoning dragon types. Next we have another tuner monster. This one is called Priestess with Eyes of Blue. Now, its effects, during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this face-up card, and you can send one effect monster you control to the graveyard, and if you do, add up to 2 Blue Eyes monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Blue Eyes monster you control, shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, special summon this card. You can only use one Priestess with Eyes of Blue effect per turn, and only once that turn. So, and I've never used Blue Eyes, so I don't, but I can tell they're all summon based. And here's a familiar card, Kyberman. This card's effect, you contribute this card, special summon one Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand. And this was shown on GX with the actual Kyberman spirit dueling with a Blue Eyes deck, and he used the attack spell as well. Next we have Decoy Dragon, and its effects. If this card is targeted for an attack, target one level 7 or higher dragon type monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, change the attack target and perform damage calculation. So that's a good, and it is a good card, that. Like I said, there was going to be some type of spell or trap or effect, or some effect that was going to allow special summoning. Dragon Knight of Creation. I've heard of Dragon Hearts. I think they're used in a certain type of dragon, Fangan. I can't remember it. If anyone knows, please tell me about it and I'll have a look at the deck. Now this card's effects. Increase this card's level by 4 during your opponent's turn only. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can send one level 7 or 8 dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your graveyard, send this card to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon that monster. You can only use this effect of Dragon Knight of Creation once per turn. Interesting. Get rid of a card, including this one, so you can special summon any level 7 or 8 dragon. Now we have a tuner normal, and it's a dragon as well. No attack, but a decent defense. Known as Labradorite dragon. The design does look familiar. Is it like, it might be for like a Luster Dragon deck? Because I know Luster Dragons are like, Luster type dragons are all like shiny based. I think in GX there's a one where you combine you fuse a Luster Dragon and a King of Dragons together, I believe. Or Lord of Dragons to summon out a monster that can special summon dragons. I can't remember what that card is. Next we have Kaiser Seahorse. Now this does make sense if you want to summon out Blue Eyes but you've got this on the field. This card is treated as 2 tributes for a tribute of a LARP monster. So I know that because Kaiba used it, and one of the Paradox brothers used it to summon one of the Gate Guardians, which was the lightning one. Now we're on spell cards, and as you know, next will be traps and next will be the extra deck. Next we have Burst Stream of Destruction. This is the attack spell I was talking about. If you control Blue Eyes White Dragon, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Blue Eyes White Dragon cannot attack the turn you activate this card. The reason we call them attack spells, and Red Eyes has one, Dark Magician has one, Dark Magician Girl has one, I think. You know, some cards have them. Red Eyes is where it just deals you damage equal to Red Eyes' original attack. Dark Magicians, I believe it's where it destroys all your opponent's spell and trap cards. And this one's for monsters. But basically, the card is treated as an attack ending effect, but you know, you can't. So that's why it won't let you attack. Next we have Dragon Shrine. Send one dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then, if that monster is in your graveyard, is a dragon normal monster, you can send one more dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only activate one Dragon Shrine per turn. Next we have the quick spell Silver's Cry. Target one dragon type normal monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. You can only activate one Silver Cry per turn. Next we have the continuous spell Ruins of the Divine Dragon Lords. I think this is the one that have those dragon darts in them as well. If a monster or monsters is special summoned except from the graveyard while you control a level 7 or 8 dragon monster, negate that face-up special summon monsters or monsters effect until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. Once per turn you can send one face-up card you control to the graveyard, special summon one Dragon Lord token, which will become a dragon type, a light attribute, a level 1 with 0 attack and defense. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your hand to the face up on the field to the graveyard. Add this card to your hand. Next we have Return of the Dragon Lords. Target one level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If a dragon monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. I'd add like 2 or 3 more of them and probably get rid of something else. But it depends on what else is in the deck. Next we have the Dragonic Tactics. Use tribute 2 dragon type monsters, special summon a level 8 dragon type monster from your deck, which would help you summon Blue Eyes as mainly. Next we have an equip spell, Beacon of White. If you do not control another Beacon of White, and you have 3 or more Blue Eyes monsters in your graveyard, target one of them, special summon it, but it has its effects negated. Also equip it with this card. When this card leaves the field, banish the equipped monster. Other monsters you control cannot attack. Also, if you have any number of Blue Eyes monsters in your graveyard, the equipped monster can attack up to the number of times during the damage step. So let's say you have 3 Blue Eyes, use this special summon one of them, and there's 2 Blue Eyes there, it'll gain 2 attacks. It's actually really good. And if you have the equipped spell, that Rider of the Storms, you can inflict piercing damage if those monsters are on there. So that's actually a good strategy, that. Stamping Destruction. If you control a dragon-type monster, target one spell or trap card on the field, destroy it, and if you do, inflict 500 points of damage to its controller. I remember this when Kyber went up against Fake Pegasus. And if you know what I'm talking about, you need to watch Season 4 of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Stamping Destruction. Oh, there was another one, Sarah. Here we go, a Monster Reborn, like I said. Target one monster in either player's graveyard, special summon it. Polymerizations, which lets you fuse a fusion monster using cards in your hand or field as fusion materials. And we have Defusion, which lets you target one fusion monster on the field, return that target to the extra deck. Then, if all the fusion materials that were used for its fusion summon are in the graveyard, you can special summon all of them. And this is a quick one, so you could use it. So you can use it anytime you want. Next is Gold Sarcophagus. You banish one card from your deck face up during your second standby phase. After this card's activation, add that card to your hand. Hand Destruction. This is a quick spell. Both players send 2 cards from the hand to the graveyard, then they both draw 2 more cards. I use this in the Night of Annoy deck that I profiled. Next we have the continuous spell Shard of Greed. Each time you draw a card or cards, for your normal draw in your draw phase, place 1 greed counter on this card. You can send this card with 2 or more greed counters to the graveyard to draw 2 more cards. I see, so that'll help her just draw out some extra cards for some if she's not got the right ones. Next we have Swords Revealing Light. As everyone should know what this card does. When it's activated, your opponent cannot attack for 3 of their turns, and all face down monsters they control are flipped face up. And that's it. Now we're up to traps. The first one being Tyrant Wing, as you see. Target 1 dragon type monster on the field, equip this card to it. It gains 400 attack and defense. Also, it can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. Once per turn during the end phase. If the monster equipped this card by this effect attacked an opponent's monster this turn, destroy this card. So it can pretty much only be a one-time use. Oh, next is Oasis of the Dragon Souls, a continuous card. Activate this card by targeting 1 monster in your graveyard. Special summon it in defense position. It becomes a Wyrm type when this card is on the field. Destroy that monster. When that monster leaves the field, destroy this card. So basically, when it special summons the monster, if one's destroyed, the other's destroyed as well, which is expected in most cards. Next, we have another continuous Castle of Dragon Souls. Once per turn, you can banish 1 dragon-type monster in your graveyard, then target 1 monster you control. It gains 700 attack until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. When this face-up card on the field is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 of your banished dragon-type monsters, special summon that target. You can only control 1 Castle of Dragon Souls. And that's actually good. I've seen a lot of people use. I've seen people who make dragon decks mainly use that card. Next we have Burst Breath. Tribute 1 dragon type monster. Destroy all face-up monsters on the field whose defense is less than or equal to the attack the tributed monster had on the field. Again, that's actually a good okay card as well. Magic Cylinder, a card I've seen a lot in a lot of decks. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. Mirror Force. When your opponent declares an attack, negate the attack, and then destroy all, pretty much, sorry, it doesn't negate an attack, sorry. It just destroys all face-up attack position monsters your opponent controls. Now we're up to the extra deck. We've got around 6, so that tells me it's a decent deck. First we have Blue Eyes Ultimate White Dragon. Then this actually came from the pack. And this only needs 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. And as you see, everyone should know about this card. It has 45 attack and 38 defense. A lot of people fuse, then defuse it if your opponent doesn't have any cards to protect them. Next we have Burrowlord Fusion Dragon, Furious Dragon. I remember giving her this card because she said she needed it. This needs 2 Dark Dragon monsters, and we have already seen she has those. Quick effect, you can target 1 monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls, destroy them. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Dark Link monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. You can only use each effect of Burrowlord Furious Dragon once per turn. Next we have a Synchro Azura Eye Silver Dragon. This requires a 1-tuner and this requires 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner normal monsters. If this card is special summoned, dragon type monsters you currently control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects until the end of the next turn. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can target one dragon normal monster, not a dragon, in your graveyard to special summon that monster. Next we have Red Wyvern. This requires 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. During either player's turn, if a monster with higher attack than this synchro card is on the field, you can destroy the one face-up monster on the field that has the highest attack, your choice if tied. This effect can only be used once while face-up on the field. And here we go, these are the links. Twin Triangle Dragon and Triple Burst Dragon. First Twin Triangle Dragon's effect needs 2 level 4 lower dragon monsters except tokens. When this card is link summoned, you can pay 500 life points and target 1 level 5 or higher dragon in your graveyard, special summon it to your zone this card points to, but it cannot attack this turn. Also, it has its effects negated. And next we have Triple Burst Dragon. This needs 2 monsters except tokens. Once per turn during the damage step, when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage during your main phase, except the turn this card was special summoned. You contribute this card, then target 1 link 2 or lower dragon in your graveyard, special summon it. Then you can special summon 1 level 4 lower dragon monster from your hand. And that's it. That's this deck profile. Now, I do say I do like to grade these cards on GX, like on the GX sound, like Slifer, Ra, Obelisk. I'd say this is actually a decent Ra. A lot of decks I see are decent Ras. I would say get some more dark. I would say look for some other monsters as well. Maybe look for some that'll help with more special summoning structures and also give you cards back. But this actually does look like a good deck. I will say that. Maybe some more links to help with special summoning as well. I would say look for some more links. I think Dragon Knight, those Dragon Knight cards, can't remember them, but I know they have some decent links for dragons that need dragons as well. So I would say profile them as well. But this deck is actually really good for a starter deck. I would say it's really good. I wouldn't use it myself because dragons are real. To be fair, light attribute and dragon types are not really my forte. I'm a dark attribute. I'm like a fiend or a machine kind of person, as I've mentioned in my previous deck. But if I was asked to use this deck, I'd know how to use it. I've seen Blue Eyes decks. I know how they work pretty much, and this deck could actually be really good. I'd say like get rid of some cards, maybe look for some other ones to replace them, to help support it more. But like I said, this deck could actually be, since this is her first deck she's ever made, this deck could actually be really good if she has a look. I would say many people don't do this. I'd get the spell card Dragon Mirage, I think it is, so you can summon 5-headed dragon. I'll give her that card actually. 5-headed dragon. It needs 5 monsters to summon it. I'll look for Dragon Mirage and give it to her as well. I think that's what it's called. What that card does, you banish dragons on your field and graveyard, I believe, so you can special summon a dragon type from your extra deck. So if she has 5 dragons in a graveyard, that she doesn't need, banish them, summon the five-headed dragon. Even if it's destroyed, she could add other cards. She could use some of these cards to bring it back straight away. Like Monster Reborn or something, like... Where is it? Like this one. She could use that to shield it as well. And the best part is that your opponent would have to use a light attribute deck if it was based on destroying by battle. But comment down below what you think of this deck. Like I said, I think it's actually quite good. You know, in the future, maybe she'll know how to modify it, make it even stronger. And other than that, comment down below what other decks you would like me to profile. And until then, this is Sergeant Phoenix, over and out.